All right. So you sent over all this information about Google Trends and you're hoping to level up your content strategy. And
yes,
from what I can tell, this tool is like really like a direct line to your audience's searches, both on Google and YouTube.
Yes.
So we're talking about understanding rising trends, nailing down keywords, planning content calendars, and even getting a leg up on your competition.
That's right. It's not just about, knowing what people are searching for.
Right.
But connecting those searches to strategic insights.
Okay.
Like Google Trends gives you the raw data.
Yeah.
And then we can turn that into actionable intelligence.
Okay. I'm all about actionable intelligence.
Yeah.
Let's start with monitoring rising trends.
Okay.
So there are two main approaches here.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping an eye on general trends that are kind of bubbling up across the internet, and then zeroing in on specific trends that are relevant to your niche.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Imagine like you're a food blogger. Keeping an eye on general trends, you might see a surge in searches for air fryer recipes.
Interesting.
Or plant-based protein sources, and that's your cue to kind of jump on that trend.
So it's not just about hopping on the bandwagon.
Right.
It's about understanding which bandwagons are gaining momentum.
Exactly. And that's where the specific trends come in.
Okay.
So let's say that food blog focuses on healthy desserts.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't just create any air fryer recipe. You'd look for like sugar-free air fryer desserts.
Okay.
Or vegan air fryer desserts.
So it's all about finding that sweet spot where the broad trends intersect with your audience's specific interests.
Precisely, Google Trends can help you get super granular.
Okay.
So instead of just tracking healthy desserts, you could look at specific ingredients or dietary restrictions, or even culinary techniques that are getting traction.
And I'm starting to see how powerful this can be for planning content.
Yeah.
You can anticipate peaks in search interest and have your content ready to go when people are actively searching.
Exactly.
That's really interesting.
You remember that cheese example from the source?
Yes.
Brie being popular around Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
That's not just a fun fact.
Right.
It's a strategic insight.
Okay.
A cheese shop owner could use that information to stock up on Brie, create Thanksgiving-themed recipes, and even run targeted ads leading up to Thanksgiving.
So Google Trends can help you anticipate these demand spikes and then strategically align your content to capitalize on those trends. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
What about keyword research?
Okay.
How does that fit into this whole content strategy puzzle?
Keyword research is all about getting laser focused on the exact words and phrases that your target audience is using.
Got it.
To find information.
And the source mentioned using data from your existing website.
Yes.
Through Google Search Console to inform the keyword research in Google Trends. Can you walk me through that?
Absolutely. So let's say you have a website that sells handmade jewelry.
Okay.
And you might notice in Search Console that people are landing on your site after searching for sterling silver earrings or boho chic necklaces.
All right, so those are your starting points.
Yes. Then you take those keywords, you plug them into Google Trends. This will tell you if those terms are increasing in popularity.
I see.
What related keywords people are also searching for.
Interesting.
And even which geographic locations are driving those searches.
So it's not just about finding popular keywords. It's about understanding the nuances of those keywords.
Right.
And how they relate to your audience.
Let's go back to the jewelry example.
Okay.
You might find that searches for sterling silver earrings are stable.
Okay.
But searches for minimalist sterling silver earrings are on the rise.
That's a really good example.
Yeah.
It shows how you can uncover these niche keywords that might be less competitive, but are still relevant to your audience.
Yeah. And that's where you can really gain an edge.
I see.
By targeting those long tail keywords.
Yeah.
You attract a more qualified audience, increase your chances of ranking higher in search results.
Okay, so we're monitoring broad trends, drilling down to specific keywords, and then using those insights to create content that anticipates what your audience is looking for.
Exactly. It's about staying ahead of the curve.
I like it.
And meeting your audience's needs before they even know they have them.
Okay. And Google Trends gives you the tools to do that.
Yes.
So we've tackled trends, we've tackled keywords. What about creating a content calendar?
Okay.
How can Google Trends help me plan ahead?
Okay, so this is where the when of content strategy comes in.
Right.
So remember how we talked about brie being popular around Thanksgiving?
Yes.
That's just one example of how Google Trends can reveal these seasonal search patterns that inform your content calendar.
So it's not just about knowing what to create, but when to publish it for maximum impact.
Precisely. And this applies to all sorts of industries and niches.
Okay.
Let's say you run a website that sells gardening supplies.
Mm-hmm.
You could use Google Trends to see when searches for things like vegetable seeds or gardening tools start to spike.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
People are more likely to search for those things in the spring when they're starting their gardens.
Exactly. And you could use that insight to create content about starting seeds, choosing the right tools, and planning your garden.
And you're doing that several weeks before those searches start to peak.
Exactly.
That's really smart.
It's all about being proactive and anticipating your audience's needs.
Yeah.
And Google Trends gives you the data to do that.
Okay, so trends, keywords, content calendars, all working together to create a really data-driven content strategy.
Yes.
What about the competition, though?
Okay.
How does Google Trends help me understand what other players in my industry are doing?
So that's where benchmarking comes in. Google Trends can help you distinguish between overall shifts in search interest and changes that are specific to your site or your competitors.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. Let's say you're a fitness coach and you notice a dip in traffic to your website.
Okay.
Is it because people are suddenly less interested in fitness? Or is it because your competitors are doing a better job at attracting those searches?
So Google Trends can help me figure out if it's an industry-wide trend or if I need to step up my game.
Exactly. You can track searches for broad fitness terms like personal training or home workouts to see if there's been an overall decline in interest.
Okay.
So you might need to adjust your content to address those shifting trends.
But if those searches are holding steady or even increasing, then I know I need to focus on improving my visibility.
Right. And Google Trends can help you do that too.
Okay.
You can use it to see what keywords your competitors are ranking for, what content they're creating, and even which geographic locations they're targeting.
So I can essentially spy on my competitors.
Think of it as competitive research.
Okay.
Not spying.
Okay.
It's about understanding the landscape of your industry.
Yeah.
And identifying opportunities to differentiate yourself.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I can benchmark my performance against my competitors, identify their strengths, their weaknesses, discover new content ideas or audience segments that I might be missing.
Exactly.
This is great. I love this.
It's a powerful tool for gaining a competitive edge. But remember, it's not about just copying what your competitors are doing.
Right.
It's about understanding their strategies.
Okay.
And then finding your own unique angle.
That makes sense.
To stand out in a crowded digital space.
I think this is all incredibly insightful.
Yeah.
I'm already feeling more strategic about my content just from this conversation.
I'm glad to hear that.
Can we delve a little bit deeper into brand awareness and sentiment?
Absolutely.
Before we move on? Because this is where Google Trends can give you some fascinating insights into how people are searching for and talking about your brand online.
Yes. The source mentioned an example of an airline company using Google Trends to monitor searches related to their brand after an accident.
Yeah, so how else can I use Google Trends to track brand sentiment and manage my reputation online?
One simple but effective strategy is to search for your brand name in Google Trends.
Okay.
And look at the related queries.
So if I see a lot of searches for my brand plus scam or my brand plus complaint.
Yes.
That's a red flag that I need to address some customer service issues.
Exactly. Those negative associations could indicate a problem.
On the flip side, if I see a lot of searches for my brand plus review or my brand plus coupon, that might mean people are actively considering my products or services.
Right. Those are positive signals that people are engaging with your brand.
Okay, this is so helpful. It's like having a real-time pulse on how people are perceiving my brand.
Yes, it is. What about tracking brand awareness over time?
Yeah, can Google Trends help with that too?
Absolutely. By tracking searches for your brand name over time.
Okay.
You can see if awareness is increasing, decreasing, or staying stable.
Got it.
You can even compare your brand's search interest to your competitors.
Oh, that's interesting.
To see how you stack up.
That's a great way to gauge the effectiveness of my marketing efforts and see if I'm building brand recognition.
Exactly. And as your brand grows and you start generating more data, You might want to explore more specialized tools for sentiment analysis that can give you more nuanced insights.
But Google Trends is a great starting point.
Yes.
For understanding the overall conversation happening around your brand.
Yes.
This is all incredibly valuable information.
Yeah.
I'm really starting to see how Google Trends can be a game changer for content strategy.
It's not just about creating content.
Right.
It's about creating the right content at the right time and delivering it to the right audience.
Okay.
And Google Trends gives you the data you need to make those strategic decisions.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive into Google Trends.
Yeah.
We've gone from understanding rising trends to keyword research, content calendar planning, benchmarking against competitors, and even dipping our toes into brand sentiment analysis.
We only scratched the surface.
Oh, really?
There's so much more to explore with Google Trends.
Interesting.
But I think we've laid a solid foundation for understanding the power of this tool.
Yeah.
And how it can be used to create a truly data-driven content strategy.
I completely agree. All right, let's take a moment to process all this incredible information.
Okay.
And come back for part 2 of our deep dive.
Sounds good.
Where we'll explore even more ways to unlock the power of Google Trends.
All right.
And take your content strategy to the next level.
I'm excited to see what other insights we uncover.
Welcome back. I'm still kind of buzzing from all the insights we got in the first part of our Google Trends deep dive.
Yeah.
It's really amazing how much valuable information is just kind of hidden in plain sight.
It is like having a secret decoder ring for the internet.
I like that.
Once you know how to use Google Trends, you can unlock so much.
Okay, I'm ready to decode some more secrets.
Okay.
Before we jump into new territory, though, can we kind of revisit the idea of benchmarking against the industry?
Sure.
I think it's worth digging a little deeper into how we can use Google Trends to really gain that competitive edge.
Absolutely. It's not enough to just create great content.
Right.
You need to know how it stacks up against the competition.
Yeah.
And where the opportunities are to stand out.
So how do we actually go about using Google Trends for benchmarking?
Okay.
What are the key steps?
So the first step is to identify your industry's core keywords or topics. These are the broad terms that people use when they're searching for information related to your niche.
So, for example, if I'm a personal trainer, my core keywords might be things like fitness training, weight loss programs, home workout routine.
Exactly. Once you've identified those core keywords, you plug them into Google Trends, and you see how search interest has changed over time.
Okay.
This will give you a baseline understanding of the overall demand for those topics in your industry.
So I can see if interest in personal training is increasing, decreasing, or staying the same.
Right. And that's valuable information in itself.
Okay.
But the real power of benchmarking comes when you start comparing your website's performance to that industry baseline.
Okay. So if I see that search interest in personal training is increasing.
Yeah.
But my website traffic is declining. That's a sign that I need to step up my game.
Exactly. It could mean that your competitors are doing a better job attracting those searches.
Right.
Or that your content isn't resonating with your target audience.
On the other hand, if I see that my website traffic is increasing, while overall search interest in the industry is flat or even declining, that means I'm outperforming my competitors.
That's a good sign. It suggests you're doing something right in terms of your content strategy, your SEO efforts, or both.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But how can I use Google Trends to get more specific insights into my competitor strategies?
One way is to use the compare feature in Google Trends.
Okay.
This allows you to see how search interest for different keywords or topics compares over time.
So I could compare searches for personal training to online fitness coaching to see which term is gaining more traction.
Exactly. You can also use this feature to compare searches for your brand name to searches for your competitors' brand names.
Interesting.
This will give you a sense of how your brand awareness stacks up against the competition.
I'm starting to see how powerful this can be for understanding the competitive landscape. But it's not just about comparing search volumes, is it?
No, it's also about understanding the intent behind those searches.
Right.
What are people actually looking for? What problems are they trying to solve?
So if I see that searches for home workout routines are increasing, I need to think about what kind of content would be most helpful for people searching for that.
Exactly. Are they looking for beginner-friendly routines? Do they want to target specific muscle groups?
I see.
Are they interested in using minimal equipment?
Okay.
Google Trends can help you answer those questions by looking at related searches and rising search queries.
Okay, so it's not just about creating content that ranks well for those keywords.
Right.
It's about creating content that actually meets the needs of the people searching.
Precisely. And by understanding those needs, you can create content that is more relevant, more engaging, and ultimately more successful at attracting and converting your target audience.
This is all incredibly valuable information. I'm starting to see how Google Trends can be used not just for SEO, but for overall content strategy and even market research.
It's a truly versatile tool.
Yeah.
And the best part is that it's constantly evolving. New features and data points are being added all the time.
Okay, I'm sold on the power of Google Trends for benchmarking.
Good.
What other hidden gems can we unearth with this tool?
Okay.
We briefly touched on brand awareness and sentiment analysis in the first part.
Yes.
Can we dive a little deeper into that now?
Of course, brand awareness and sentiment are essential parts of any successful content strategy.
Right.
Because if people don't know who you are or they have a negative perception of your brand, they're less likely to engage with your content.
The source mentioned the airline company using Google Trends to monitor their brand after an accident. What are some other ways businesses can use Google Trends to track brand sentiment and manage their online reputation?
One powerful strategy is to set up Google alerts for your brand name and any relevant keywords. This will notify you whenever your brand is mentioned online.
Okay.
So you can stay on top of both positive and negative feedback.
So if someone writes a negative review of my product on a blog or social media, I'll get an alert and I can address the situation.
Exactly. It's all about being proactive and responding to customer feedback, whether it's good or bad.
Makes sense.
And Google Alerts can help you do that effectively.
What about tracking brand awareness over time? Can you walk me through that?
Sure. It's as simple as searching for your brand name in Google Trends.
Okay.
And looking at the trend line over time. If you see a steady upward trend that's good, it means your brand awareness is increasing.
So if I see that searches for my brand name are going up, it means people are becoming more familiar with my business.
Exactly. And you can use that information to inform your marketing efforts. For example, if you see a spike in brand awareness after launching a new product or campaign, you know those efforts are paying off.
What if I see a downward trend in brand awareness? What does that mean and what can I do about it?
A downward trend could indicate a few things. It could mean that your competitors are doing a better job of building brand awareness. Or it could mean that there's been some negative press.
I see.
Or customer feedback that is impacting your reputation.
So it's a signal that I need to investigate further.
Yes.
And potentially make some changes.
Exactly. Google Trends can't tell you why your brand awareness is declining. But it can alert you to the fact that it's happening, which is the first step in addressing the issue.
This is so helpful. It's like having a real-time dashboard for my brand's health.
It is. And don't forget the power of related queries. When you search for your brand name in Google Trends, pay attention to the related queries that appear below the trend graph. Those are other terms that people are searching for alongside your brand name.
So if I see a lot of searches for my brand plus discount or my brand plus coupon, it might mean people are looking for deals or promotions.
Exactly. And that can inform your pricing strategy or promotional campaigns.
What if I see a lot of searches for my brand plus alternative? Or my brand plus competitor?
That could indicate that people are considering other options. It might be worth investigating why they're looking for alternatives.
I see.
And what you can do to strengthen your value proposition or differentiate yourself from the competition.
Okay, so it's not just about tracking overall brand awareness. It's about understanding how people are searching for and talking about your brand.
Precisely. And by using Google Trends to tap into those insights, you can make smarter decisions about your content strategy, your marketing campaigns, and even your product development.
This is all incredibly valuable information. I'm starting to appreciate the depth and versatility of Google Trends.
It is a great tool. But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, can we touch on how Google Trends can be applied to video content on YouTube?
Yeah, the source mentioned that all of these principles apply to YouTube searches as well.
Absolutely. In fact, optimizing your video content for YouTube search is becoming increasingly important for visibility and reach.
Right.
Just like with web content.
Yeah.
You can use Google Trends to identify trending topics and keywords related to your niche.
So if I have a YouTube channel about cooking, I could track searches for easy dinner recipes, vegetarian cooking tutorials, or even specific ingredients like quinoa or lentils.
Exactly. And you can use those insights to inform your video titles, descriptions, tags, and even the content itself.
So it's all about making your content discoverable.
Exactly.
Whether it's a blog post, website page, or YouTube video.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And don't forget about the when of video content, just like with web content.
Yeah.
You can use Google Trends to see when searches for certain topics peak on YouTube.
So if I see that searches for holiday cookie recipes start to spike in December, I should make sure to publish my cookie tutorial well beforehand.
Exactly. And remember, YouTube is a visual platform.
Right.
People often go there to watch tutorials, demonstrations, or even just to be entertained.
So it's not enough to just create videos that are keyword rich.
Right.
They need to be visually engaging and provide real value.
Absolutely. And by understanding your target audience and their search behavior, you can create videos that are both informative and entertaining, which will lead to more views, more engagement, and more success on YouTube.
This is all so insightful.
Oh.
I'm already thinking of all the ways I can apply this
Good.
to my own content, both on my website and on YouTube.
That's great. Remember, the key is to experiment. See what works best for your niche and your audience.
Yeah.
Google Trends gives you the data,
right?
But it's up to you to interpret the insights and translate them into action.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground in the second part of our deep dive into Google Trends. We've explored benchmarking against the competition, delved deeper into brand awareness and sentiment analysis.
Yes.
And even touched on applying these principles to video content.
It's been a truly insightful journey so far, and we've still got more to uncover.
Interesting.
Are you ready to move on to the final part of our deep dive?
Absolutely. I'm eager to see what other secrets Google Trends has in store.
Me too.
Welcome back to the final part of our Google Trends deep dive. We've covered so much already, from understanding rising trends to keyword research, content calendar planning, benchmarking against the competition, and even brand awareness and sentiment analysis.
I know, it's been a really incredible journey.
It has, and I feel like we've just scratched the surface of what Google Trends can do.
Right. It's true. This tool is constantly evolving. They're adding new features and data points all the time. The possibilities are really endless.
I'm starting to see that, and I'm eager to explore even more ways to kind of unlock its power. In the previous parts, we talked a lot about using Google Trends to understand what people are searching for. But you mentioned something that really stuck with me. You know, the idea of going beyond just the what of those searches and thinking about the why.
That's right. It's not enough to just know what people are searching for.
Right.
You need to understand the intent behind those searches.
Yeah, like what are they hoping to find?
Exactly. What problem are they trying to solve? What are their motivations and pain points?
Right.
Once you understand that why, you can create content that really resonates with your audience.
Yeah.
And gives them the information or solutions they're really seeking.
Okay, so it's not just about creating content that ranks well.
Right.
It's about connecting with people on a deeper level.
Exactly.
And solving a real problem for them.
Think about it like this. If someone searches how to fix a leaky faucet, they're not just looking for any information about faucets.
Right.
They want a specific solution to that problem. And they want that information to be clear and easy to follow.
Makes sense.
If you can provide that, you're not only going to satisfy that need, but also build trust, credibility, which can lead to loyalty and engagement.
That makes perfect sense. Yeah. So how can we use Google Trends to kind of uncover these deeper insights about our audience's intent?
One way is to look at the related queries that show up when you search for a keyword in Google Trends.
Okay.
These are other terms people are searching for alongside your target keyword and can give you clues about their motivations.
I see.
For example, if you see a lot of searches for leaky faucet repair DIY, it suggests that people are looking for do-it-yourself solutions and might be interested in step-by-step tutorials or video demonstrations.
That's a great example.
Yeah.
So it's not just about creating content that matches those exact keywords. It's about understanding the broader context.
And creating content that meets those underlying needs and desires.
Exactly. And Google Trends can also help us understand how those needs and desires change over time.
By tracking search trends for those keywords, you can identify emerging trends and patterns that can inform your content strategy and help you stay ahead of the curve.
Google Trends isn't just this static picture.
Right.
It's dynamic and can help us see how these searches evolve over time and how we can adapt to meet those changing needs.
The beauty of it is that it's free.
That's true.
And anyone can use it.
Yeah.
So whether you're a seasoned content marketer or just starting out, you can use this to understand your audience and create content that resonates.
I think this deep dive has really given me a new appreciation for Google Trends.
That's great.
It's not just a tool for SEO, it's a tool for understanding people and creating content that really connects.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your expertise and for taking me through this fascinating world of data and insights. I feel very energized, and I'm ready to put this all into action.
Good. I hope this conversation has inspired you.
It has.
To explore the possibilities of Google Trends.
Absolutely.
And see how you can take your content strategy to the next level.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into Google Trends. We hope you found it valuable and inspiring. We encourage you to continue exploring Google Trends on your own to unlock even more insights and take your content to new heights.
It's been a pleasure. Until next time, happy content creating.